What's going on, party people? We are back again with yet another video, and this weekend we got UFC 285, Jones versus Gane, Shevchenko versus Grasso, Neal versus Shavkat. Banger of a card, baby. And my boy Cody No Love's coming back. Hopefully we can keep that chin intact and get a W. And today is about one of the rising stars in the UFC. But before we get to that, I want to make a correction to one of my previous videos. I had made a video detailing and breaking down and predicting John Jones versus Ciryl Gane, and I just want to throw a caveat at you, a bit of a curveball. I am switching my prediction. My official prediction is switching. I am going with John Jones because Ciryl Gane is dealing with what looks to be a severe hand injury. It's glaringly obvious. There's no speculation. He's obviously got something wrong with his hand. It may be broken, and for that, I know he's going to have a lot of trouble, trying to grab John's wrist, trying to, fend off takedowns. And then, of course, one of his weapons are limited when he does have a striking chance with John. So for that reason, I am switching to John Bones Jones to take that heavyweight title home, fellas. But today's video is not about that. We're going to be talking about Bo Nickal. Came straight off the Contender Series. One of the best wrestlers in the world. And I like this kid a lot. I really like this kid. So today we're going to be talking about how good is he really going to be? Is he going to be a bust? Is he going to be a dominant champion? What do I think? So let's get into it. First of all, if you watch the kid's last Contender Series fight, what a display of an ability to mix it up. See, when you usually get a specialist, you get a Damian Maia, you get a Ben Askren, you get the guys who specialize in one thing, you get a Paul Craig. Bo Nickal is a wrestler, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to wrestle you, but he's different than your average specialist. This guy has fast twitch muscle fibers. You can tell when he was on the feet, he's twitching. He's going real fast. He's got really good, feints on the feet. And I don't know how good his overall striking game is. I know he had a knockout before he got onto the scene, but and a pretty vicious one I saw. But I don't know how good his striking is, but I know he has very, very fast twitch. He's very explosive, and he has the threat of the takedown. He landed a bomb of an overhand in that fight on the Contender Series, and then he followed that up by getting to mount and transitioning from, he tried to get a mounted guillotine, and he transitioned it into a beautiful triangle, took the wrist to drop onto his back. The way he used the striking and then the jiu-jitsu, and he mixed it all together, and we already know he has the wrestling. It was unbelievable. So I got really excited, right? And I went and watched 3 of his wrestling matches, which says something because I don't really watch wrestling. I don't follow wrestling. I don't know who the best wrestlers are. I don't know who's on the Olympic team. I know nothing about that sport. The only time I find out about the wrestlers is when they transition into either sports entertainment or MMA. So, but I watched Bo Nickal's wrestling matches. That's how pumped up I was about this guy. So what I'm thinking is, I give a ceiling and a floor for him. I really like the, personally, this is a personal thing, I really like how he has like a good balance of, he's humble and he's like a humble, grateful kind of guy, and then he also has that confident, cocky, sure of himself side at the same time. So he knows what he brings to the table, he knows the value, he knows how good he is, he knows how entertaining he can be, but he's also happy to be here, like anybody should be. So it rubs me the right way. Just put it that way. Pause. But yeah, I like Bo. I think Bo is a good dude. He cooks some mean steaks on Instagram. So Bo, if you ever see this, give me an interview and cook me a steak, my guy. So let's get into his ceiling and his floor. I actually think that his ceiling is to be a long reigning world champion. So what that means is a champion that has 3 or more defenses. I think that is his ceiling. I think he's good enough to do that. I think if he achieves his potential, he will do that. The guy is very, very impressive, and you know he's only going to get better striking, and he might even be pretty good at it now. As far as his floor goes, normally you'd go lower on a floor than I'm going to go, but I'm super high on this guy. I really think he's the legit as hell. And I'm going to say that his floor is to be a top 10 middleweight. I think the worst case scenario in his career, barring any injury or anything like that, knock on wood, is that he'll be a top 10 middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, think about middleweight. You got Derek Brunson, who just wants to grab you, and if he don't grab you, he's pretty much beat. Um, Bo Nickal, faster, more explosive than Derek Brunson, a better wrestler than Derek Brunson. Like, he's just so good. And then you got Pereira and Izzy, who are the top middleweights right now, and neither one of them could get Bo Nickal off of him if he gets onto them. I'm not saying he could beat them right now because, you know, they're very reactive with their striking. They have great footwork, and Izzy has really good takedown defense. But, like, he could. You never know. Like, we got to see what he does against Jamie Pickett. But, yeah, I'm high on him. So, ceiling, long reigning champ, floor, top 10 middleweight. I really can't see a world where this kid doesn't succeed. He's a monster. As far as some of the other fights on this card, you know, just so we can have some filler for this video, Shavkat Jeff Neal is an awesome fight. I think Jeff Neal's a tank. He's a bit underrated ever since the loss to Wonderboy, but look how he did Luque. Like, he's a monster. He's a problem. He's a force to be reckoned with. I like his head coach. I like the discipline that they have together. I've watched a couple of their training videos, and it seems like they have good chemistry. He does have hands of steel. He'll put you out cold. But I think Shavkat's going to be a little bit too much for him, so I'm rolling with Shavkat on that one. Cody Garbrandt is fighting Trevin Jones, I believe. I'm not even really too familiar with this guy like that, but out of pure ignorance to the skill set of Trevin Jones, I'm going to go with a hopeful pick, and I'm going to go with my boy Cody No Love. And then what else we got on this card? There's some bangers on this card. I don't have it in front of me. Well, first of all, we might as well cover Shevchenko and Grasso. I think Shevchenko is the greatest women's fighter of all time. I think she's the #1 pound-for-pound women's fighter on the planet. And I think if you mix the women and the men, she was #1, but now is #2 overall pound-for-pound on the planet, because I think Alexander Volkanovski and her are both so dominant. Yeah, so I'm going with the champ to get that W, and I can't wait to see her fight Erin Blanchfield in the future. That's the first fight in a while for Shevchenko that we're really going to be excited for, like a good one. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Let me take a look at this card real quick. I want to make sure I'm not missing any crazy fights, because I feel like I am. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Alright, so we covered that. Oh, Gamrot and Jalen Turner. Probably the best fight on the whole card, and I didn't even bring that up. That's crazy. That'll tell you how stacked this card is. Gamrot is a monster. I thought Sarukian beat him, to be honest with you. And I thought he was going to take out the old dog in Benny Dariush a couple months ago, but Benny put it on him, man. And I'm super high on Jalen Turner. I like Jalen Turner as a fighter. Huge for a lightweight. I'm sorry. He might as well be a light heavyweight. Dude is huge. His limbs are long. He destroyed Brad Riddell. The dude's a monster. I'm going with my boy Jalen Turner. I like that fight. That's going to be a good fight. I think Gamrot's going to test him in a way that he hasn't been tested in his last few fights, but I'm going to go with Jalen Turner to pull the upset off. Derek Brunson and DDP are on the prelims. This card is stacked. I'm rolling with DDP. They both get sloppy when they're tired, but DDP's got better striking, and I think the wrestling's going to be semi-neutralized here, because I think DDP has enough wrestling to fend off Brunson. I think DDP can get it done, and I love his nickname. So, Yeah. Other than that, you got Ian Gary, the hype train, the guy that they don't let fight anybody. You know, so that just is what it is, guys. Um, it's gonna be a good card. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else worth bringing up right now. So yeah, it's gonna be a good card. I'm rolling with John Jones. I'm changing my pick. It's still before the fight, so don't be hating on me. Bo Nickal's a superstar in the making. I'm rocking with him. And yeah, guys, so just enjoy the card this weekend. And let me know in the comments who you think's going to win some of these fights. And also, let me know in the comments if you guys think John Jones is injured, because there's been speculation that he may be dealing with some problems. Chael Sonnen brought it up, so take it with a couple grains of salt. And yeah, just let me know down below any thoughts you have on this card. And hit the sub button. Why is it that I had a video that did really well and then another video that did pretty well and none of y'all are hitting the sub button? It's right there. It don't cost money. You just gotta do it. Just do it. Hit it. Alright, you hit it? That's good. Thank you guys. See you later.